Ever wonder what sarlacc tastes like? Yeah, me neither. We are celebrating the season of the Force, building up to May 4th, and I wanted this dinner to be terrifying. So I made a meatloaf that looks like the Sarlacc Pit from Star Wars. I was inspired by a friend of mine making a zombie foot for Halloween, and I wanted to make a really cool Star Wars themed meatloaf for dinner. I was going back and forth between doing a Wookiee or the Sarlacc Pit, and I decided to go all in on the Sarlacc Pit. Before we go on, comment what creature I should meatloaf next for Season of the Force. You can use pretty much any meatloaf recipe that you like. My first step was sauteing the onions and garlic, getting that ready for the ground beef. I mixed that in with the ground beef and all the spices that I used. I split the meat into two sections and created a sort of donut shape at the bottom with a cavern in the middle. I put a piece of bacon around the inside edge, which isn't necessary, but I thought I would give it a try. And then I put a layer of teeth-shaped onion pieces inside before I formed the top portion of the meat. And then I went to town putting in more onion pieces cut into the shape of sharp teeth. And finally, I cut a sweet pepper to look like the beak. And then I chose to cut strips of bacon for the tentacles. I used broken pieces of wooden skewers to shape them around the pit to make them look like they're just tentacling all over the place. And then it was ready to bake. After about 30-40 minutes, I took it out and put the sauce on and then put it back in. I did notice at this point that my center cavern was starting to hold some liquids, so I had to cut a bit of a vent in the back to drain some of the liquids out because it was creating a pool in the middle. As this was cooking, I was shaping little potatoes to look like porks. This was actually a little bit harder than I anticipated. I baked them and then tried carving the faces. I think if I do this again, I will use my paring knife to carve the faces while the potatoes are still hard. It might be a little bit easier, and then see how they come out with them being baked with the faces already carved into them. So once I pulled it out, I was able to pull out the skewers and put our little porg victims on the edge of the Sarlacc Pit. And while it might take the Sarlacc Pit 1,000 years to digest you, it definitely won't take 1,000 years for your family to tear into this. If you are interested in seeing the other activities and recipes that we create for Season of the Force around our house, make sure you've subscribed to the channel, and I will see you on the next video.